be going to lead us in our invocation. Commissioner Henderson will lead us in the pledge of allegiance to the flag. We'll stand and remain standing for the pledge.
Let's pray. Almighty God, we stand in awe of you and invoke your presence as this commission gathers here today, stewards of you, entrusted with responsibility to serve and lead. Help them to trust and acknowledge you. You said when they do, you would direct them. We ask for your wisdom to guide their decisions, your clarity to help them see the needs of those they represent, and your strength to act with integrity and fairness. May their discussions be fruitful and their hearts and minds remain open, and their actions reflect the best interest of all. We ask you now to bless this meeting and the work that they do together. And we ask all these things in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, we appreciate you coming and giving the invocation. You're welcome to stay. We'd like for you to stay, but anytime you feel like you need to leave, you're welcome to do that too. We have all a quorum. 4 of the 5 commissioners here. You can see Commissioner Antonakis is not here. She is on official county business. She is at a Association of County Commissioners of Georgia conference. She's in school for the last 2 or 3 days in Jekyll Island with the ACCG, Association of County Commissioners. It's the reason she's not here. She's in a mandatory mandated school that newly elected commissioners have to go to. So that's why Commissioner Antonakis is not here. Item 4 on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Our motion we approve the minutes as sent to you. So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second. Second. Motion by Commissioner Patterson, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Item number 5 is the approval of the agenda. I have a correction I'd like to do is swap something around. I'd like to take item number 19, commission meeting dates, and move it to line item number 10. And we will take the rest of that, Madam Clerk, and we'll just change
Just shift
the
it down.
order that is in, and everything will go down in the sequence after that.
Yes, sir.
So if there's not objection, we will move item number 19 to item number 10. Any objection? Chair hears none. That is so ordered. Item number 6.
We need a,
You gotta vote.
Oh, yes, I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve it with that change.
I have a motion by Commissioner Clyde, second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Item number 6, departmental reports to Office of Emergency Service Director Casey Broom.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. It's a pleasure to be here as always. You have my submitted reports, and I'll answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions to Director Broom? Okay, thank you. Item 6B is Recreation Director Glaze. Director Glaze is out at the complex. Soccer is going on. I think it's about 180 young people involved in the soccer program. So that's the reason he is not here. You have his report in your packet that you can look at. I think one of the things is basketball starts pretty quick. But anyway, y'all can read it.
October 14th.
October 14th, basketball registration starts. 6C is Finance Director Dawes.
Chairman, Commissioners, you have our printed reports, and if
there are no questions, and when you're ready, Chairman, I'll give you the cash balance.
Any questions, Director Dawes? If not, Director Dawes, you can proceed.
Our cash and cash equivalent balances, month ending September 2025, our SPLOST 7 fund, $2,318,460. The general fund, $2,255,868. The T-SPLOST or Transportation SPLOST Fund, $1,757,283. Solid Waste Fund, $634,799. The Emergency Fund, the General Fund Emergency Fund, $316,473. The Water Fund Reserve, $264,423. The Water Fund, $259,331. Those are all of our major funds for the month ending September. Our total cash and cash equivalents in all of our checking accounts is $8,437,657. In our investment accounts, our Raymond James 12-month CD, $1,602,309. Our Raymond James Enhanced Savings, $550,230. Total in our Raymond James accounts, $2,152,539. The total cash and cash equivalents in all of our accounts at the end of September was $10,590,196.
Any questions, Director Dawson, on the balances of the funds? There being none, item 6D is Public Works, Director Seymour.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, you have my written reports. I don't have anything to add to that unless you have questions.
Any questions, Director Seymour? Thank you. Item 7 is the public hearing, part of our agenda. And we have 7A is final plat approval, Ms. Ogletree, Director Seymour.
You need to make a
Well,
motion
got
to
to
go
go into
into
a meeting, I
public
need
hearing.
a, excuse me. There a motion, I was looking at the lady that's not here, and I was thinking of that one. Is there a motion that we go into the public hearing?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
A second?
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Tankersley. Any discussion on the motion to go into public hearing? Chair is none, all in favor of the motion, let it be known saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Director Seymour.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We had two items on our agenda Monday night, October the 6th. The first one being Susan Ogletree doing business as KMA LLC. She was applying for final plat for Phase 3 of Long Cove subdivision. However, there was no representation at our meeting, so my board voted to table that until November's meeting, so I won't need any action for that tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
The second one was Mr. Thomas A. Norman, map 14, parcel 018, 3481 Meadersville Road, consisting of 35.80 acres, currently zoned A1. Mr. Norman had a storage shed that got damaged during Hurricane Helene. He's asking to replace it, but he's going to go with a little bit bigger size, which is going to encroach in his rear setback. Rear setback's 25 foot. He's asking for a 15-foot variance, which would put him at 10 foot off of the property line in the back. My board heard his recommendation and recommended approval, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, you see the approval. Is there any questions? Okay. There is, that's the two that we have. Is there a motion that we come out of the public? Excuse me, is there anybody here that wants to speak against this? Anybody here want to speak for it? Mr. and Ms. Norman are here, they for it, so I don't think they want to say anything. Okay. Is there a motion that we come out of our public hearing?
So moved.
A second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion to come out of the public hearing? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried, and we are now out of our public hearing. on the request of Mrs. Ogletree, doing business as KMA Georgia LLC. Self-explanatory, they were required to be at both meetings. Nobody showed up at the planning and zoning meeting, so that's the reason the planning and zoning's recommendation was that we take no action on it from the county commission. She's been notified. I think she was sorry she forgot about it, but what this does is it delays her for another 30 days. It has to be re-advertised. Am I correct on that, Mr.?
Yes, sir, it does.
Has to run back in the paper, and she will have to come back before the planning commission for it to make it back to the county commission next month. Is there a motion that we accept the recommendation of the planning commission?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Director Seymour.
Yes, sir. The second one was Mr. Norman with a rear setback of 15 foot.
We've already done that.
Sir?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
No,
Go
sir, you
ahead.
just did the Ogletree.
I make a motion we approve it, Mr. Chairman.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. And I don't know where I'm at. Sherry, is this bottled water or is that vodka? In this thing. Tommy, don't leave yet. Let me finish this before y'all leave. I want you to hear it. Hopefully a lot of people will hear it. As all of you know, our commission meetings, when we vote, are videoed. They will be on the air, Lincoln County Government website, or you can YouTube Lincoln County, Georgia YouTube. This is normally on before lunch tomorrow, so if anybody wants to go look at it, you can do it. We will highlight this a little bit on Facebook to direct people back to hear these comments that I'm fixing to make. The General Assembly in the 25th session that just completed in April voted to give county and city governments the authority to call for an election to vote on floating homestead exemptions. This is new. Never knew anything about it until just a few months ago. Floating homestead exemption is an additional sales tax. Lincoln County currently has 3 sales taxes. School has an E-tax, educational tax, and I think that's back up. When you add the 4% of the state, this will give us, if this passes in November, I think it's November the, when is election day? Election day is November the 4th. This will increase sales tax in Lincoln County from 8% total tax. State gets 4 from 8 to 9%. But let me tell you what this does. The reason I'm explaining it, the reason I'm trying to do it to get it out to the public tonight is because we have very few ways in our county to get this out to the public. The county cannot buy ads in the newspaper, do anything that costs the county money. We can't spend money to promote the sales tax. I can, by law, speak at it at a county commission meeting or go on WTHO or wherever and talk about it. The floating homestead exemption just goes on homesteads, your home if you have a homestead exemption. The purpose of it is to reduce your property tax on your residence, on your homestead house residence. In the law, it requires, in our situation, we only have one municipality. Some places have multiple municipalities. The law requires that the city and the county has to both agree. The city and county has agreed. The city council has voted for the floating homestead exemption, and the county commission voted a month or so back on the floating homestead exemption. So we both have to agree. If the voters pass it November the 4th, it's a 5-year sales tax increase. For 5 years, that penny for floating option sales tax, homestead exemptions, is there. After 5 years, or before the end of that 5th year, it's like all other sales tax, it has to come back to the public, and they can vote to reauthorize it, or they can vote not to, just like they're gonna do on the 4th. This year, the county's general fund budget is $8,797,000. When you add all county funds together, which is sales taxes and other things that I'll hit on, Lincoln County's total budgets, when they all consolidated and added, is over $18 million. General fund of $8.7 million. That's what's partially funded by your property tax when you pay your tax bill, your property taxes. Of that $8.7 million that you pay, $5,287,454, or 60% of the total revenues that it takes to fund that $8.7 million, 60% of those revenues come from other sources other than property taxes, which leaves $3.5 million to come in, $3,518,972 to be exact, is what's collected in property taxes. So 60% of the general fund's budget revenues come from all other sources, only 40% from property taxes. You can go online, and it's easy to do, go to Georgia Department of Revenue and look at every county. You're gonna see some counties that over 70% of their revenues to fund their general fund budget, where ours is 40, over 70, come from property taxes. If you look at it and look at it good, we're in the lower 25% of all the 159 counties with lower millage rates. We're up, we're in the good bracket. Let me just tell you what the county's millage rate is today. The county's millage rate today, and for those of you who don't understand, if your home is valued at $100,000, you pay taxes on 40%. That's statewide. So you pay taxes on $40,000, not on the 100% value of the $100,000. Also, if you homestead exemption, you automatically have, most people, some have a little higher, depends on the income bracket, but up at 90% has a $2,000 homestead exemption. So you paying taxes, your millage rate's applied to $38,000 of that $100,000. Lincoln County's millage rate today, and for the first time in 7 years, this year, the last 7 years, it decreased. The first time in 7 years that the millage rate increase was this year, and it increased by 4.8 mills, I think. 0.48, less than a half a mil is what that is. So what the floating exemption sales tax that we put on the ballot, and hopefully people will vote for, with our projections that come from the state and from Director Doss that brought to the county commission, it's very similar to local option sales tax. It's about a 50-year-old tax. 100% of that money that you add in that extra penny to has to, by law, reduce your millage rate to reduce what you pay on your property taxes. So in Lincoln County, we project that you will have approximately a 2 mil reduction in your property tax, which would take your millage rate from 7.885 to approximately 5.885. The sales tax we project will bring in just under $1 million a year, I got it somewhere, 900 and something thousand dollars that it will bring in, that will reduce your property taxes by that amount. That's a huge reduction in your homestead exemption. Now, that only goes to your homestead exemption to your house. If you got a building in town, or you got rental property, your farmland, that don't do it. Most farmlands gets the big break anyway, because 72% of Lincoln County is in conservation of what you could do. So I encourage people to vote for that sales tax. A lot of that sales tax, and I don't know exactly, probably should know, how much of that tax is paid for by people that come into Lincoln and Lincoln County and spend their money. I know in some counties, 40% of their sales tax is projected from outside. Lincoln County won't be that high because we don't have it. Columbia and Richmond might be. But a percentage of that, a good percentage of that will be paid for by outside people that help you reduce what you pay on your property taxes. The Lincoln Journal, I know, had in there this week, maybe last week. A lot of times you go to vote on something, they got it worded where you don't know what you're voting for. You thought you voted to do something good, and when the way they worded it, you voted opposite from what you meant to do. We wanted this real simple on the ballot, and I'm gonna read it to you. This is what's gonna be on your ballot, and you can go look at it. Shall a special 1% sales use tax be imposed for 5 years within the special district of Lincoln County, with the proceeds used exclusively to reduce property taxes imposed by Lincoln County and the municipality of Lincolnton, which makes that include both of them. So anybody that's listening in this room or by way of YouTube that has any questions, feel free to contact us, and we'll try to explain all of this to try to help reduce the burden of your property taxes. So I encourage everyone to vote for the floating homestead exemption local option sales tax. I'm going to conclude with that, and if you do have questions, then
Mr. Chairman,
feel free. Commissioner Tankersley.
at 2 mills, if we're able to lower it by 2 mills, that's roughly 25%,
That's 25% reduction.
a
So
little over 25.
you heard what Commissioner Tankersley said, it's about a 25% reduction. A little better than a 25% reduction in your homestead property tax, so that's pretty strong. So help us get that word out that people need to vote for it. Okay, with that said, we're going to item number 9. Tommy, you're welcome to leave now if you want to. I know you're hungry. And I know you got a good cook. I might be by that a little bit myself. Item number 9 is we have somebody that has requested to be on the agenda to speak about County Ordinance number 34, which is the Land Development Code. Ms. Smith, she's not here. So she's not here, so we'll just skip that one and go right on about our business. This is where I'm bringing 19 up. This is to, and let me also say too, that everything we doing from now down our agenda was handled in a 2-hour work session last week, so we're gonna move quick now, and we know what most of this is gonna be.
Mr. Chairman.
This was,
Did you want to move the 19 up to?
yeah, I wanna move 19 to 10. And we approved that at the beginning of the meeting, right?
Yes.
All right, Commissioner Tankersley, if you would, take the floor.
Commissioners and everyone else is present. We've been looking at our meeting times, and it seems that the longer we go, that it's more conflicts on Thursday nights as far as schools that we are required to attend, as well as long weekends that people have planned. And we've talked about it and don't feel like it's a big issue with moving the meeting from Thursdays to Tuesdays. And I think pretty much all of us were in favor of it. So if you got anything anybody needs to add to it, they can add to it.
Well, we did discuss this all in our meeting. I personally don't have any objection to it. I don't think any of us, Doug, we agreed to put it on the agenda from the work session to send it to this meeting.
One more thing, Chairman, is
Commissioner Tankersley.
a lot of our football games with junior varsity, they are all on Thursday night. And if there happen to be away games, you know, if you've got grandchildren or children participating in those games, it makes it really hard.
This is nothing new. It's not something that happens very often. I know that the county commission meeting on the second Thursday night of the month, probably for the last 20 years, 18 to 20 years anyway. When I came here in 1981, county commission meetings were on the first Tuesday of the month. You could fluctuate the times. At one period of time, for several years, our commission meetings were held at 10 o'clock in the morning. And somewhere down the road, we came up with the 6 o'clock meeting. I remember when it used to be at 7 o'clock at night. We don't want to go to the first Tuesday night of the month. And the reason it used to be the first Tuesday, we changed it to the second Thursday years ago. When you meet on the first part of the week, the first day of the month could fall on the commission meeting day, or it could be on the second, or it could be on the third. And what that means is that none of these reports we got in these books will be able to make it to the county commissioners prior to the county commission meeting, because on the first, second, or third, they haven't gotten them all compiled to be here because the end of that month closed that day before. So the first part of the week is not a good time. Third part of the week is getting just a little bit late. So if we are going to vote, we have to, Lincoln County Code, Article 2, Section 265 in the county ordinance says that the regular commission day. And it says that the commissioners shall meet on the second Thursday of every month. It don't give a time set by the county commission. To change this date, what we have to do, and this will be considered a text change, the county attorney has informed us, which means we can vote for it tonight, and it takes effect whenever we want it to, and can take effect at the November meeting. Could be moved. I think we have agreed internally to maybe let this take effect at the December meeting so everybody gets a little bit closer. Some of the staff has said that we probably ought to give it that 2 time anyway, even though we can do this to give the public time to know. I do know that the Board of Education meets that same day. They meet at 5 o'clock now. We meet at 6 o'clock. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But in the whole scheme of it, that would be 1/10 of 1% of a problem probably. I don't think it would ever really be a very big problem. If it is, they can get on the agenda and go to their meeting at 5 o'clock and get over here real quick and get to our meeting. What we're gonna have to do, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, we're gonna have to vote to change the ordinance to read that the county commission will meet on the second Tuesday of every month and take out instead of the second Thursday. Also, we have something in that same ordinance that we would like to change while we are making a change to the ordinance. Also in that section, which is Article 2, Section 2-73B of the county code, states in that sentence that the county commission meetings will be held in room 104, which is the conference room downstairs, or any other room in the courthouse. That's how we up here without doing it. We thought that we would make this change, and I think all we want to do is delete the part where it says in any other room in the courthouse. And we will change room 104 what it's going to say is the county commission meeting will be held in the courthouse. If y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
Am I saying this right?
Yes, sir.
So that's going to take two motions, and I don't see a motion. I don't have a motion for that,
It
right?
wasn't on the agenda that I have, Chairman.
Huh?
It wasn't on my agenda, so I didn't.
Okay. You had the wrong agenda then. But anyway, I understand, I can do it. So I'm thinking, Madam Attorney, that we're going to have two motions, one to change section 265.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, it'll be a motion to change the section, and then it'll be the first reading of the ordinance.
Are we
The
gonna have-
first and only reading.
Okay. Y'all make sure that when you do the records that I got the right article in the right section. I'm saying is, I wrote down Article 2, Section 2-65 reflects to the regular meeting date, which this would be considered a text change. This is considered the first and only reading that we have to do on this one. And the motion would be that we change that section to read that the commissioners' regular meeting would be held on the second Tuesday of each month. I entertain a motion for that.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we move the meeting to the second Tuesday of each month.
You have a motion by Commissioner Tankersley. Is there a second?
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? I will state, excuse me, go ahead, Commissioner Clyde.
I was just gonna say, I would like for us to start it next year, though. That gives 2 months to finish out with people, and they would give them plenty of time to learn that we're meeting at a different time. Is that a problem with anybody? It's not a terrible thing, but I just thought it might be smart to start the first year.
Well, Commissioner Clyde, if that would affect, from the second Thursday to the second Tuesday in December, of the county commissioners and staff going to your house for our Christmas party, I would certainly support that.
We're gonna have the party unless we move it to the 26th. No, I'm not open. We'll do whatever anybody else thinks.
Okay, we have a recommendation from Commissioner Clyde that we put this in force in January meeting and not the December meeting. Is there any objection to the request of Commissioner Clyde?
Chairman,
Director Dawson.
you have a motion and a second, so you have to deal with that one before you deal with the amendment.
That is correct.
We got a motion and a second.
Well, let me ask this, Commissioner Tankersley, will you and Commissioner Clyde, would y'all pull your motion?
I will.
Commissioner Clyde, do you have any problem with taking your second?
No, sir.
All right, Chair hears it. There's no motion and there's no second. It has been taken off. Now we are going to ask for a motion that we do this just exactly like we were doing. We'll change it to the regular meeting date on the second Tuesday, becoming effective December 1st at the December 26th meeting. Y'all have that? Is that right?
We'll be in the January.
Yeah.
I meant January 26th. I'm gonna put it off a year.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we change the meeting date to the second Tuesday of each month, beginning January of 26.
You've heard the motion. I won't repeat it by Commissioner Tankersley. Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? I would say, though, that this will take effect January the 1st, 2026. It does not affect the time of the meeting. Now, that has nothing to do with that. That's in there anyway. We can change the time of the meeting anytime we want to. But
6 o'clock.
the county commission meeting in January will be the second Tuesday at 6 o'clock. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Also need a motion to remove room 104 in the county courthouse, and that it would read that the county, and delete that, and that the meeting will be in the county courthouse. That section will be changed also. That's Article 2, Section 2-73B. Is there a motion that we make that text change, removing that we meet in room 104 in the county courthouse or any other room in the courthouse, to read just that the regular county commission meetings will be held in the county courthouse?
I make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Tankley. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known, saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Okay, that changed that.
Chairman. We gotta have a reading.
Oh, yeah, read.
Stan got it. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, with permission, I'll read the first and only revision to the ordinance.
Proceed.
Section 2-65, regular meetings. Regular meetings of the Board of Commissioners shall be held on the second Tuesday of each month. All regular meetings shall be held in the county courthouse as designated by the chair. A notice containing the foregoing information shall be posted and maintained in a conspicuous place available to the general public at the county courthouse.
And that's also on the website too. Let's add that.
Yes, sir.
Add that to it in a conspicuous place and on the county website. Which we put everything on that website anyway. That way we lead the horse to water. If they don't go drink it, we can't help it. Everybody got all this straight. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight.
Yes, sir.
You got it straight. That's the biggest thing for the records.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We don't have to approve the reading, do we? Or do we?
No, I don't think so. I think we've already approved it. She just read it. Probably, sure. Okay.
Thank you.
So I think that concludes that. So let's go to item number, I guess that'll be 11 now, won't it?
We can still call it 10.
Pardon me?
We can still call it 10.
All right, we're going to 10. That can be 9A or something like that, then. All right, well, anyway, we're going to the ACCG Safety Grant Application, Director Broom. Let's make all of this as short as possible where we move on. I know Commissioner Tankersley has another meeting to go to. He's already late, but
Well, Chairman, each year we have eligibility for the safety grant, a micro grant from ACCG. This year we've elected to apply, if you approve the application, we'll apply for the grant in the amount of $2,500. That will fund the purchase of 3 portable radios. That will include an addition of, I believe, $485 from my general fund budget to effect the purchase of those 3 radios. So that's what the ACCG safety grant is going to be used for this year.
okay, is there a motion to apply for and accept a $2,500 pre-approved safety grant from ACCG to purchase portable radios for the Office of Emergency Services and to authorize the chairman and the county clerk to execute all necessary documents? Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Tankersley. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Item number 11 is the Time Task Force Grant Application and Resolution. Director Brown.
Chairman and Commissioners, the Time Task Force is a program through the state of Georgia that provides training to local paid and volunteer personnel on the rapid removal of and clearing of wreck scenes. There is a $20,000 grant attached to the adoption of the resolution that, for the local open roads policy. This is all combined into one. I believe there are going to be two motions for it. But we're approving the application for the grant and also the resolution.
Okay, you heard the request, and is there a motion to approve resolution 2025-10.09.18, which is the open roads policy quick clearance for safety and mobility endorsement?
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second,
Second, Mr. Chairman.
motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion is carried. We have a second motion, a motion to apply for a $20,000 grant from the Georgia Department of Transportation's Time Task Force to purchase equipment for the traffic incident management activities within the county and to authorize the chairman and the county clerk to execute all necessary grant documents. Is there a motion?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known, saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion is carried. Just for the record, all of this has been discussed in our work session, so we really know what we are voting on, even though it seems fast. Item number 12, Striker Stretcher Service Agreement Renewal, Director Broom.
Chairman, the EMS for Lincoln County currently utilizes 3 Stryker stretchers, and they do require annual maintenance and certification by the manufacturer's maintenance team. We have 2 agreements here. One will bring the agreement into alignment with our fiscal year, so it would go from as early as tomorrow through June 30th. The second agreement would take it from July 1, 26 on through June 30, 27, thereby aligning the agreement with our fiscal year. A lot of people think about stretchers and you don't think about, well, that's not that important. Well, they're about $20,000 a piece. So the more maintenance we do on them and keep them working, not to mention the liability if there were an issue.
You've heard the request. I entertain a motion to accept an 8-month stretcher service agreement with Stryker Corporation ending on June 30th, 2026 in the amount of $3,312 with funds to be paid from the general fund and to authorize the chairman to execute the service agreement. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Motion 2 is a motion to accept a 12-month stretcher service agreement with Stryker Corporation beginning on July 1, 2026 and ending on June 30, 2027 in the amount of $4,968 for funds to be paid from the general fund and to authorize the chairman to execute the service agreement. I entertain a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Item 13 is the 2024-2025 EMP grant funds acceptance. Director Dawes. Director Broom, I mean.
Chairman, thank you. We're in receipt of $18,967 from the Emergency Management Performance Grant. We need to accept those funds and also approve the application for the 2025 EMPG.
Okay, you heard the request. The motion would be to accept the 2024 Emergency Management Preparedness Grant from the Georgia Emergency Management Agency, the amount of $18,967. This goes to offset the salary of Director Dawes. I don't think any of us want to vote against it. I entertain a motion.
Well, I'll need to resign, Mr. Chairman, if it's not going towards my salary. You said Director Dawes.
Director Brown, I don't know what makes me do that. I apologize for that. He's got enough over there without having to handle your part too, hasn't he? Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Motion 2 is a motion to apply for the 24-25 EMPG Local Entity Annual Report Grant from Georgia Emergency Management Agency in the amount of $18,967 with a total match of the same amount for the director's salary, and to authorize the chairman and the finance director to execute the grant application. I entertain a motion.
So moved, Mr.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Thank you, Director Broom.
Thank you.
Item 14 is purchase card resolution. The Sheriff's Office Director Dawson, make it as quickly as possible.
Chairman, Commissioners, at the last meeting, we voted to adopt a new purchasing card. Code of Georgia 368024 requires us to pass a resolution allowing the Sheriff's Department to, the Sheriff rather, to use that purchasing card. So you have a resolution before you, just asking that you adopt that resolution. The Sheriff has signed the cardholder agreement, and he has adopted the board's purchasing card policy for elected officials.
We're familiar with it and we've read it all, but I'm entertaining a motion to adopt resolution number 2025.10.09.19, authorizing Lincoln County Sheriff Clay Smith to use a county purchasing card as read. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Item number 15 is the FY25 ACCG, which is Association of County Commissioners of Georgia Retirement Contribution Director Dawes.
Chairman, Commissioners, as we discussed in the work session, our contribution for the 2025 defined benefit plan premium this year is $446,796. We would need a motion to pay that from the general fund, and then we would need a second motion to allow the E911 fund, the water fund, and the solid waste fund to reimburse the general fund.
Is there a motion to pay the ACCG defined benefit plan contribution for the plan year 2025 in the amount of $446,796 from the general fund? I entertain a motion.
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? The chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Motion 2 is a motion to authorize the chairman and finance director to transfer $41,137 from the E911 fund, $29,883 from the water fund, and $9,105 from the solid waste fund to reimburse the general fund for each fund's portion of the ACCG defined benefit contribution for the planned year 2025, and I entertain a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion, a second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The motion's carried. Item 16 is Emergency Operations Center improvements. Director Seymour.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We've had an opportunity to evaluate the Emergency Operations Center out at the OES building, and this facility needs some much-needed audio and video and conferencing system upgrades. And I put together a budget for you, as well as a drawing showing you what improvements we would like to make. So we're seeking up to $23,000 to be paid for out of SPLOST 7 Tier 2 project. Mr. Chairman, if y'all would be so inclined to do so.
Okay, you heard the request. I need a motion to authorize up to $23,000 from Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax 7 Fund Tier 2 projects for an EOC capital improvement project. Is there a motion?
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Clyde.
I was just gonna say, I went out there, we went and looked at it and all that, and it's a big room, it definitely needs this, so I think it'll make it worthy.
Any other questions? All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Did I do that?
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Item 16, emergency. We did that one. Item 17 is jail improvements. The sheriff's here too, so be careful, Director Seymour.
Yes, sir, I'd hate for him to take me down there and let me see him close up and leave me there for a little while. So, we've got some issues in the jail that we need to address, Mr. Chairman. Some of those are some much-needed infrastructure upgrades to the kitchen in the jail. And so what we're asking is for up to $60,000, you've got a quote for those upgrades, up to $60,000 be paid for out of SPLOST 7 Tier 1 project. This would be considered capital improvements to the jail Phase 1. We're going to try to do a couple more phases later in the year or next year, in next year, but this would be Phase 1 of that total project at the jail, Mr. Chairman.
And this is what we talked about last week at the work session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's on the drainage and all, is that correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
And some other improvements that are being made at the jail?
Yes, sir.
This is a capital improvement project that we're doing to take care. I need a motion to authorize up to $60,000.
Yes, sir.
Now, where did that 60 come from, that 40? Was that part of the discussion the other day too?
It was, we originally said 40, but y'all asked that we move it to 60 in case we had some additional.
That was at the work session?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I want to know. A motion to authorize up to $60,000 from Special Purpose Local Options Sales Tax 7 Fund Tier 1 projects for jail capital improvement projects, Phase 1.
I make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried, and that goes along, I think last month we approved about 60,000 too, didn't we, for
It was
locks?
about 70,000 for automatic locks.
So we're
Yes, sir.
looking at about 140,000 we approved the last couple of months.
That's correct, yes, sir.
I see him over there smiling. But these are something that Sheriff Smith inherited every one of these problems. It wasn't him. All right, let's move on with item 18 is an update on the Greater Clark Hill Regional Library. This is going to take just a minute, but I'm going to do it just as quickly as I possibly can. We have talked about this for several times, and I know at the work session, and I've talked to some of you individually. I'm going to have 4 motions in this if this is what we're going to agree to do.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Tankton.
I've just got a text, and they need me for a vote, so I'm begging to be excused, if at all possible.
All right, you familiar with this too. You may be excused. Go out there and straighten them folks out here. All right, let me talk about the regional library update because we did have a meeting, I think it was Thursday, that Director Pardon, Director Dawson, and I attended along with Chairman Graham at Warren County. We attended the Regional Library Board meeting of what will be the Eastern Region Library Board come January the 1st. This all has to be in place. The state librarian was virtually in the meeting with us. She's also a chancellor to the University System of Georgia. Here's where we are. The building that housed 911 and the coroner's office across the street is the building that we're talking about, across from the jail, next door to the probate Sheriff Patrol Investigative Division. This building, as we have known for a while, has got to have some repairs made to it before we could put anybody else in this building. It's probably the straw that broke the camel's back when we decided to move the E911 communications out to the new building where we moved them to, and they moved in September. That's got to be done. But at the meeting the other day, they voted that Lincoln County, and we wanted it, and I wanted it, that we would become the regional headquarters of the Eastern Regional Library System, which is composed of Lincoln, Warren, and Burke County. Hopefully, between January and July, we will have some other counties coming in. That's not a guarantee, but it's a hope, it's discussion, and it would help us if they would come in. So they voted on Amanda, what's her last name?
Ham.
Amanda Ham, who is the acting director of the Columbia County Library today. They voted for her, and she accepted to be the regional library for the new region, Eastern Georgia. Isn't it Eastern Georgia?
Eastern Regional Library.
Eastern Regional Library. She accepted the job at that meeting, so she will be on board January 1, but she's also working with it through the transition of the next 2 months. I'm looking at my notes. We had to work out in some logistics on this. I know that Director Seymour, Director Walton, I know those two met today with the phone company over there. I know that Director Dawson spent a good bit of time in the last 2 or 3 weeks working with his counterpart in Columbia County, the finance director, and with Ms. Ham, who is the director down there, on getting all this put together and bringing it back to us. And he's kept me updated with all that he has done in this interim time. So where we are today, I think that we were all in agreement that we wanted to house the regional library in Lincoln County. So we accomplished that. So now we're on these motions. It's going to tell us more about what you want to do, and if you have any questions, after a motion and a second, we'll go to that, and you can ask me or Director Dawson. Are we ready for these 4 motions now? All right, motion 1 is to authorize up to $30,000 from the Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax 7 Tier 2 project for a Courthouse Annex C capital improvement project. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion, that's second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion? There's no discussion. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. I have to vote. We have a majority. Motion 2 is a motion to allow the newly formed Eastern Regional Library System to use the County Courthouse Annex C for the new regional headquarters starting December 1st, 2025. I entertain a motion.
I make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion? Now, I got a statement more than a question. There's several things that have got to be done down there to get this ready, and it will be paid for by the regional library. Director Dawson, you correct me if I overstep, if I'm saying something that's not right from what we have discussed and the conversations you've had with these people. Basically, what happens is we have a building that's gonna sit there if we don't put something in it, and to put something in it, we had other plans for other things. To do some of the things we were talking about, instead of asking for 30,000, we'd have probably been asking for 70 or 80,000 to restructure some things. The technology part of it, Director Walton, and I know all three of the directors have worked on that. But I do know that we need everything ready by December 1st. Is that pretty close to right?
Actually, I think in our meeting, we discussed the second week in December, we would have it
Okay.
ready for them to move into.
Yeah, so we did discuss that they won't be ready to move, but we want to at least give them access by that day, so.
Okay, let's look at the second week in December, which means that the construction part of it has to be done within that period of time. Director Seymour, you're handling that.
Yes, sir.
And you have told me that you think that would be attainable. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Another thing that has to be done is a phone, which I understand y'all met today with the phone company, Augusta Phone, and that's gonna be done. The other thing I think that we need to mention in this before we vote is the technology part of it. It's gonna pretty much be a standalone technology from what it was when Columbia County had it. We'll pretty much look after the technology at our library and at this regional library, and the others will look after theirs. Warren and Burke will look after theirs. Is that correct?
That is correct, Chairman.
So I've been told that we have internet and all this in the building down here that's already there. That's not a new cost to us. So Director Walton, this question comes to Director Walton. I'm sure y'all are working and know what you're doing with what we got to do on the computers and the internet side of this. In the morning, I want y'all to get started on it. We know we have a second week in December deadline that we need to have all this pulled together. So we don't need to wait till Monday to get started. I think y'all know now what you got to do and what you got to have. We need to get started, and I expect that everything will be done by the second week in December so we can make this happen. Is that right?
That's correct, Jim.
All three of y'all nodding to me, yes. Okay. So now we have a motion and we have a second, and now it's time to vote. All in favor of the motion, let it be known saying aye. Aye. So it passed
I
3-0.
did have one quick question I was gonna ask.
You missed it, bring it on this one.
All right.
But make yourself a note, you've already voted. Motion 3, motion to waive the monthly lease for Courthouse Annex C valued at $1,200 a month, and that was given to us from a commercial landlord, based on the square footage, as an in-kind contribution to the regional library, with the regional library maintaining its own utilities. So basically what they're saying is, we got a building, we got to use it for something, there's no extra cost really to the county. We're waiving the $1,200 month in it. There was a reason for that
We don't necessarily have to make any in-kind contributions, but we wanted on record, building's 1,173 square feet. The going rate in Lincoln, what we've been told, is $1 per square foot per month for commercial property. So approximately rounded it up to $1,200, and we just wanted on record of our contribution for that.
So it's not really costing us any real money.
It is not costing us anything. They're going to cover their own utilities and all of their own operating supplies. But we are donating the building for that use.
So we're gonna need a motion on that part of it, that we basically donate the building to the regional library. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion? Commissioner Clyde?
I was just gonna ask about the roof over there. Is that roof of that place in good shape?
Yeah, roof's in pretty good shape.
It is, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we got 8 or 10 years left in that roof. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
I hope I got 13 years. I don't necessarily mean that by sitting here. I'm talking about just living. You know, Commissioner Clyde, I remember when I used to be the youngest of the 5 of us. And now you're the only one older than me.
I'm shorter though, I think.
All in favor of the motion, let it be known
Amen.
by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. All 3 of us voted for it. Final motion is motion 4. Is a motion to agree to serve as the physical agent for the Eastern Regional Library System and to authorize the chairman and the county clerk to execute any necessary documents. Is there a motion?
I make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion's by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Now we got discussion. Is there any discussion? Chair hears no discussion, but I will ask Director Dawson if he will probably have you have a comment, Director, about the physical agent to be coming through you?
No, sir, our office is ready to do it. This will just simply be passed through. We'll pay the bills and then we'll get the grant dollars back from the state.
Okay, and the state does fund the positions, 2 or 3 of the positions
Yes, sir.
that are over there. The regional part of it will be paid for, they will be paying utilities and
So the region will pay all of its own expenses. They just don't have the financial staff to do that. So we'll do that, not unlike what we do for several of the other agencies, Family Connections, and back when we were doing workforce development.
So I guess my question is for the commissioners is, I know you told me, but you have no problem with your office handling the physical agent part of it if we approve that?
No, sir, we're ready to do it.
Okay, any other comments? All in favor of the motion, let it be known saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. And the motion is carried. If any of you have any questions concerning this, contact Mayor Director Doss, and we'll be glad to talk to you, and I will continue to update you probably during the work session of all this. Let me, before we close, and this is really not on the agenda, but I'm gonna take personal privilege. We are doing some minor things that's within my spending limits that y'all grant me. With the changes being made at the EOC, or the Emergency Operations Center, or the entire Public Safety Emergency Service building, when we moved the 911 out there and took out part of that big room when you come in, all of you know where I'm talking about, that was also used as the day room for the EMS side. EMS moved, we didn't really know they would do that, but it's no problem. They moved, and I don't blame them for the reason they did it. They moved their day room, and Commissioner Clyde used that help me the other day. They moved their day room into another big room that has 2 offices behind it with a major and the what do you call it? What? The shift captain have two small offices back there. It really makes sense that that's where they go and move them out. However, the kitchen part is still shared with the other. With the overall plan of what we're doing with the Emergency Operations Center, and it's also the training center, and it is used a lot more than anybody would think. With training, with various different meetings, we've had some, I don't even know how you pronounce mitigation things. Hazardous mitigation was out there. Lots of different things. Our work session sometimes goes, it's something out there at least weekly. The way that's done with with 911 being where they are, all traffic coming into that EOC room, training room or meeting room for all things will now come in that middle door, go by the Wanda's office, come down that hall, go into a door, you take a left and you'd go into the emergency operations training room. What that did is that brought all the people, whether you got 4 people meeting back there, 34 people meeting back there, and that's the room where we were when the governor was here. They would have to walk through the day room, which is not really good. So we have put a wall. You saw that wall, didn't you? We have built a wall where when you go in that door, you go down a hall, take a right, and then take a left to go down that hall to go to the EOC room, to block off everybody walking into the lounge, day room of the EMTs. So that made pretty good sense, and we have done that, and it's almost completed. I think all they're lacking now is hanging 2 doors of paint. I just want you to be aware that we have done that. We have come up with something a little bit different. Again, I want y'all to be aware of, and I'm not sure if this is coming out of splosh money, then I think the commissioners are sometimes going to have to vote on that. Is that where that money is coming from? From the local option sales service? I think it is. I don't think it's coming out of general funds. I don't think it's out the OS. Anyway, what we did, and y'all need to know, because we're fixing to start on this one too, unless y'all tell me tonight we're not. I don't think you would, particularly if you knew what. I'm going to tell you why we're doing it. I said on a statement a few minutes ago that this vacant building where the regional library is going housed 911 in the coroner's office. Well, what we just did was we don't have a coroner's office. It's already gone. They scattered the stuff in 2 or 3 different places, and Director Broom made some room out there to put some stuff in. The coroner has to have an office, and we don't have an office. So what we are asking to do and what we are looking at doing is when you come in walk down that ramp and come in that door, I was just telling you where you go to where Wanda and Casey and Director Broom's office are. You bow to the left, and that other door went in that big room, which was the day room. Y'all familiar with where I'm talking about, sir? That would really be the entrance for the coroner's office. So what we wanted to do is to come into that room, and when you come in that door, we would have a wall built down almost to where it opens up into the big space, right past Director Broom's office. Then we'd turn left, and we would go and tie back into the wall. The wall separates that from the 911 center. So we're really gonna have 3 walls, because that's big enough that we could, while we're doing it, that we could make 2 offices. One office would be for the coroner. The other office, and what are they? What did we say, 10 by 14, each one of them? It's approximately 10 by 14 offices, which is a fairly nice office. The other office is, while we're doing it, we just doing it. It's really not for anything right now, but it makes that whole place look like it's squared up and done right. And I think the cost of that's somewhere around 8,000. Is that what we projected that it's going? Huh? Between 8 and 10 that we having to do that. You're gonna be able to use the same air conditioning system and all that. It's gonna really look good when they get through with it. And that'll provide an additional office out there that can be used at some point in time if we go into other emergency functions out there. So that's just a little update of what we doing out at the EMS office. Anybody that wants to look at it, Commissioner Clyde was here, we rode out there the other day, and he looked at it. The rest of you can go out there, come by, and Director Broom and I take you on a tour of the whole thing. But that's going to be a first-class facility and made into something that we're going to really be proud of. The Emergency Operations Center is going from 2 TV screens? 2 to 6. 2 to 6. I call them TV screens, that's what they are. We'll be able to have virtual stuff out there. we'll be able to do a lot of things. Helene woke us up. We'd never had anything like Helene, hope we never have anything like Helene. But if we do, we need to be better prepared for all the emergency situations that go on. You know, you could have a plane crash like did in Pennsylvania when they brought it down in Lincoln County Sheriff, and we don't really have adequate setup for what we would do. We're going to have a first-class emergency operations center that can be set up out there that would work for any emergency we have in the county, plus a lot of this can be used for your training and other things that we have out there. I'll just tell you this, when we get through with it, we will have a work session. We'll take a work session out to that room, probably the December work session will probably be ready to go. And everybody can see exactly how that looks. In closing, my brother told me the other day I talked too long. October 29th, I think, commissioners, y'all are familiar with this. That's when we have tentatively, we have set the date of October 29th, is that correct? I think that's on a Wednesday morning. We will be here before 8:30. We plan to start it. You will be getting something from the clerk that's got the times and the locations of where we are going. We're going to cover just about every county building. I don't think we're going to have the voting precinct up at Midway. We're not going to the mountain, to the towers up there. We're going to schedule that and do that at some time. There's one other building, I forget what it was, that we wasn't going to look at. That we will, because the time ran out. The way this is scheduled today, we will begin promptly at 8:30. And hopefully we will be back here at the courthouse somewhere around 4 o'clock, give or take a little. So it's going to be an all-day tour. We will have lunch during that. I'm not going to separate you. I've asked Director Deal to give us a leisure service van for us where we can all ride together. The 5 of us commissioners, along with the clerk, who can take notes and keep up with what all y'all are saying, and what you want to do is no voting meeting, but just to, if you don't like what Director Broom's doing and you want to ask something else, she'll keep it and let us know. I've asked Director Seymour to go with us, because anything we do at changing anything, he's the brain behind that. He will be able to answer our questions and try to talk to us about that. I've asked Director Doss to be on board with us, because whatever we do, we're going to have financing, and you might have some financial questions that you want to ask to him. There will be no votes taken on anything. I have asked the clerk to notify the newspaper, posted in the conspicuous place, which is downstairs on the bulletin board, and to post on the website, that the county commissioners will be taking this tour. Because as you know, anytime more than 2 of us are together, it creates, if I'm there, it creates a quorum. So we have to, by law, state what we do, and no votes will be taken. But we will be going, and I think this is the first time I can ever remember that the county commission did what we are doing, and that is that we're going to every county building and grounds. We got a lot of, the pump stations and all that, we're not going. That was, I think, the third thing. But we will be going. I have asked all 12 of our directors to be at their facility. One of them's a director, but she's not directly our director, but she's included. And I'm looking at her. Director McNeese, the Development Authority, because that is in a county-owned building. We will be going, I've asked them to be there at least 30 minutes earlier than the schedule shows that we will be there. They can wait on us if we're running late, but we're not going to be waiting on them. They need to be there waiting on us when we get there. The sheriff had court that morning. We rearranged and changed things from there. I think, Sheriff, your schedule is 3 or 3:30. In the afternoon, we've asked he's asked and we've asked that we tour the facilities of the Sheriff's Department Detention Center and the Patrol and Investigation Division across the street. So we will come back to the courthouse around the 3 or 3:30 time, 3 o'clock, I believe. And we're spending more time, we've allocated more time with you, Sheriff, than anywhere else. We're moving it pretty quick. Some places we're not giving them but 15 minutes, some places we're giving them a little more.
Yeah, just so I know how to prepare my nerves, who's driving the van?
Me or Director Seymour, probably me.
I vote for Director Seymour.
All right, I beat this road long enough. I think everybody knows what we want to do, but I want to be sure that it's on the record that we have in this tour, and that we're going on to meet with department heads at their facility, so they can talk to us about some things that maybe need to be done to county buildings. I think it's pretty good that we all see and hear from them. Is there a motion we adjourn?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Cloud. Any discussion on the motion to adjourn? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, let it be known saying aye. Aye. We stand adjourned.